Hi guys, 18dap here and welcome to another match day preview. This one, League 2 action, it's Doncaster Rovers at home to Gillingham. Let's get the video started. So guys, welcome to this match preview. Doncaster Rovers versus Gillingham in League 2 action tomorrow. If you're an existing subscriber, thank you so much for supporting the channel and sticking with us. The channel is growing more than I ever thought it would, so a big thank you for that. If this video has brought you to the channel, please consider clicking subscribe so you don't miss any future content. The match day vlog will be coming up tomorrow. But if you are new and this is the first video that you've seen, this is the format that we go through match previews. Look at previous meetings between the two clubs, current form across all competitions. I choose a Doncaster Rovers player to say a few words about, and then I choose my opponent's one to watch. So I pick a Gillingham player that I think will potentially impact this game. But as I always say, you know your club much better than what I do, so please, if there's somebody else, get them in the comments down below. And then we've got a predicted team lineup thanks to FanHub, the predictions league table that me and the family are competing for. So there's an update on that, and then the all-important score prediction at the very end. So without further ado, let's get into previous meetings. Donny and Gillingham have faced off a total of 72 times in our history. Rovers, it's not good viewing for us, 15 wins out of those 72. We've shared the spoils on 20, but Gillingham certainly have our number in this fixture with 37 wins from the 72 meetings across our history. Drilling down into the more recent 5 fixtures though, it is still leaning towards Gillingham, unfortunately for us Rovers fans. We go back to the 2020-2021 season, the final game in that one away from home, it was a 2-2 draw. And then the 2021-22 season, Gillingham beat us 1-0 both home and away. But then a share of the spoils last season in the 22-23 season where we won 1-0 at home. I'd love to see that scoreline at the end of tomorrow's fixture, but then we got beat 1-0 away from home. So bit of a mixed bag, but I think overall Gillingham probably have the edge in this one for certain. Current form. It's another tough one for us Rovers fans to read, but it is getting better. So our last 5, a defeat, a draw, a defeat, and then coming into this one on the back of 2 wins. Gillingham, on the other hand, slightly better form coming into this one in the last 5, only 2 defeats, same as the Rovers, but instead of a draw, they're coming into this one on the back of 3 straight wins. Donny finally earned their first win of the league campaign last Saturday with a 2-1 victory over Forest Green Rovers at Forest Green Rovers, and that result pulled us out of the bottom 2, first time this season that we've been outside of the bottom 2. I think I'm not sure if we were in there after the first game or not, but we've certainly been looking up rather than down since the start of this campaign. So it's nice to see us in 22nd now, I believe we are. Try not to think about it too much. There's still a long way to go. But following up from that win on Saturday, we had a midweek fixture, Everton under 21s in the Papa John's Trophy, and that was a 2-0 victory as well. So back-to-back wins, which is unheard of in Doncaster for a long time. So happy with that. But I think for me, the midweek one is more of a confidence builder, minutes in legs for players that have not necessarily had enough minutes to impact league games. It's nothing to get too excited or carried away about, in my opinion. A really big test tomorrow against tabletop in Gillingham, and one that hopefully the team are well up for. Gills, as I've just touched upon, coming into this one, coming to Doncaster as the early pace setters in League 2. 6 wins and 2 defeats from their opening 8 fixtures. But I think there's a chance for us in this one, I really do, because goals have been hard to come by early on for Gillingham, but there's defensive solidity, which is giving them a really good, solid foundation to go on and win games, albeit narrowly. I think the first 4 games were 1-0 wins, the 1-2-1 against Morecambe last weekend. But yeah, they've been very tight games. Grimsby beat Gillingham 2-0 a couple of games back as well. So there are opportunities there against the defence, but it's very difficult to get through this Gillingham defence at the minute. I think last weekend's result for Gillingham will be a very big confidence builder. As I say, winning games narrowly by a goal here or there. Obviously got pegged back against Morecambe, went to 1-1, and then they went on to win the game. So I think that'll be a really big confidence builder to know that even if a team does score past them, they've got the ability to dig in and get another goal and win it. But that win last Saturday, as I mentioned, brings them into this one on the back of 3 straight wins, so should be full of confidence coming to Doncaster. Looking back at some of the more recent games, it seems like Gillingham don't have a great deal of the ball. It's kind of split 50-50 with most teams that I looked at. But what we are seeing is that when they've got the ball, they're pretty useful with it, getting shots off, and causing teams problems, and obviously getting the goal and being really solid in the shape. So yeah, it's going to be a really tough game. We've got to try and break them down, and hopefully we can do that. But the top of the table for a reason. It's going to be very tough. Moving on to player profile, so for this one I am going with Harrison Biggins, 27-year-old centre midfielder for Doncaster, and for me is arguably one of our best midfielders, or one of the best midfielder in our squad. He missed a few games at the start of the season due to injury, but he's returned. He's scored 2 goals in 2 games. One of those goals being an overhead kick at Forest Green, and then he shows a very different side of him against Everton midweek under 21s, where he's got the ball, shifted it onto his right foot, absolutely sent the Everton player for a hot dog, and he's found the bottom corner with a decent low drive that beats the keeper. I just think Harrison adds bite, tenacity in the midfield that we've been missing in the early part of the season. I think with him, Ben Close coming back, Westbrook looking good this season, I think we've got a real strong midfield when the players are there. Hopefully Harrison, Ben and all the rest of them can stay fit now they're starting to come back, and we'll have a good shot of showing this division what we're truly about, because I really do think that our current position in the table won't be anywhere near where we finish come the end of the season if we keep our players fit. Moving on to the opponent's one to watch. So for this one, I have gone with Connor Mahoney. As I said at the start of the video, you know your club much better than what I do. So if you think there's somebody else, please get them in the comments down below. Obviously, Matt Gills in the Blood TV, I enjoy his content, so I'm hoping that he'll pop a comment in to say who we should be watching out for from a Gillingham perspective. But I've gone with Connor Mahoney purely because of his goal against Morecambe. I thought he was superb. The way that he stopped the ball, dropped a shoulder, shifted his feet, and then just a little touch to get a yard of space, and the way that he whipped it into the corner, absolutely unstoppable. Very good for this level of football. But he's got bags of experience as well, 210 career appearances, 17 goals and 30 assists from the right hand side. So yeah, our left hand side is going to have to be on the ball tomorrow to keep Connor quiet, but I think there's numerous players within the Gillingham squad that have got quality that could potentially hurt us tomorrow. But the one that I've picked out for this video is Connor Mahoney, purely because of his goal. If you've not seen it, find the highlights and watch it, because it's great movement, great skill and a wonderful finish. Onto my predicted team lineup. So as I said, this is thanks to FanHub. If you've not downloaded the app yet, please go ahead and do so. Plenty of features to get your teeth stuck into. It's a decent app. I use it mainly for the predicted team lineup, and this is what I'm going with for tomorrow's fixture. It's very difficult to predict our lineup due to injuries and players performing well, to be fair, the ones which are coming in. But obviously Louis Jones in goal. I'm not sure how long Lawler's out for, but I think Louis is warranted a starting place, and to keep that starting spot with his performances over the last couple of games. A back three of Oluwu, Wood and Anderson. I think that could well change with maybe Senior dropping in there to free the left wing up, but we will see tomorrow. As I say, this is a predicted lineup, could be miles off, but I'm going with Molyneux on the right, Senior on the left, with midfield 3 of Broadbent, Westbrook and Biggins, and the front 2 of Ironside. I'm starting with Marsh instead of Farl. So that's my predicted team lineup. We will see how close or how far away I am tomorrow. Moving on to the predictions league table, me and the family predict the scoreline for every single league game. If we get the scoreline spot on, we get 3 points. If we get the outcome of the game right but not the scoreline, we get 1 point. If we get completely wrong, we get no points. And we were all confident last weekend against Forest Green Rovers. We all went with wins. Chris was the only one who got the scoreline spot on, so he gets 3 points, which moves him joint top on 4 with Max. The rest of us got 1 point, so Max stays top, joint with Chris on 4 points, and me and my dad joint second now, or joint third on 2 points. So yeah, not a great start to the season for us on the predictions league table, just like Donny in the actual table, but hopefully both of those improve over the next couple of weeks. And that takes me on to my score prediction for this one. So as I've mentioned numerous times through the video, I think it's going to be a very, very tough game. Gillingham are top 4 for a reason. I think they've got quality, they're solid as a unit, so it's going to be difficult to break them down. But we've seen against Grimsby that they can concede a couple of goals. I'm hoping that the confidence of the 2 wins on the bounce for the Rovers gives us that drive and that energy to score again. And I am trusting the boys. I am sticking my neck out on the line. I always say that I predict with my head and not my heart. I think this one's more heart than head. I'm going with a home win of 2-1. I take a draw, but I'm going with a 2-1 win. There's just something about it. I think we're going to go 3 on the bounce. We will see. And that's where I'm going to leave this video. If you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please go ahead and check out Gills in the Blood TV as well. I will link him on the screen somewhere now. But all that's left for me to do is say thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.